before we get into our final, what we're going to do next month, let's talk about questions and answers. I mean, it was pretty amazing. A lot of stuff that's happened today. Questions from what's happened today? Any of the segments? Any things? Any thoughts that have come about? You've absorbed it all. You know what you're going to do. You're going to walk out of here and implement all of it. Yeah.
Is Wendy going to get up and speak?
That's a great question, Wendy.
No.
But you could use that last segment.
In December she is. Right.
Right.
So Wendy.
Okay. Please come to the front.
My boyfriend from Germany and I and Mark are also going to facilitate another workshop on conflict. And how you deal with
Any of us have any conflict in our lives?
No, I avoid it like crazy.
I'm thinking, and I don't know how many, a number of my children, of the 7 kids, are going to be here, next month, and I'm sure that if you were to ask them or my wife, if there's any conflict in our house, they would say, not when Mark's around. I'm sure. So, can you think of, because it's going to be integrated into some amazing things, from really a number of different, so it's going to be personalities, but Martin's going to be bringing some really innovative things. He actually speaks all around the world, and he's an amazing guy. And so you'll want to make sure that's the Friday after the Thursday. So there's a whole bunch of things going the Wednesday evening. There's Thursday, and then Friday, and we think we're going to have on Friday evening, if everything comes together, a party at Ed's house. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. So there's a whole bunch of things that are coming together. And so together we truly can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. So, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Good stuff. Questions about today? Helping you develop your business. Thoughts? How can we improve? Fantastic. Yeah.
Is all that stuff that John went over, is that all on the website, that whole grid of?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
In fact, you can get there to thevisionproject.net. Thevisionproject.net. Go to resources, and you'll see all kinds of stuff. In fact, when you get to thevisionproject.net, now on the home page, it'll say DNA of people, DNA of business, DNA of life. So just click the middle box, DNA of. Yeah, and Mark's going to come up and he's going to address that situation here.
No,
Yes.
actually,
It's actually in the.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was handed out. So you actually do already have that. Here it is. So you already got that. Okay?
What's even better, it even works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Good. Yes, Mark. Oh, Don.
I'd like to invite you all to a mastermind group next Tuesday morning at Nickery's in Aurora. We meet every Tuesday morning at 6:30 in the morning on Lake Street in Aurora. Would love to see all of your faces there.
Excellent. Yeah.
how do we take this group to another dimension?
That's a good question. How do we take this to another, let's just open that up. How could we take this to another dimension? Make it better, but a new dimension. Yeah.
Everybody bring 2 people next
How do
month?
we get that to happen?
Go on. We'll ask all of us to commit to bring 2 people. She's
Who's
very
in
good.
for the challenge? Come on. John's in.
Good.
Who else? Emily's in.
Good deal.
Mark's in. Let's fill that restaurant next Tuesday.
Well, I'm thinking this group even, too.
Yeah. Well, could the videos be a way that, or even one segment of the video sent out to people that we know to say, hey, sorry you missed it. Next month we're going to be doing some, but this is spectacular. Let me share one of the videos with you. This is just a taste of what we had for the whole day. Would that work? You're thinking of something else. What are you thinking, Mark? What thoughts are in your mind?
See, I'm wondering, like, I'm curious. I'm curious, like, why aren't individuals coming up with more questions? Like, I have 1,000 questions to ask. So I'm like wondering, like, why is it that people aren't thinking? Are they kind of shy like I am? I mean, is it that they don't want to say? I mean, like, why aren't we coming up with more questions?
That's a great question. Are people overwhelmed?
Yeah, I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Well, Emily's presentation definitely sparked my interest, like I said, about the inconsistencies. And I wasn't even aware of these 12 principles that she mentioned, so I definitely know where to look. I know what the websites are, the visionproject.net, and I want to go there afterwards and follow through, which I've struggled with also in the past, but I'm learning through mastermind groups to get a handle on following through, especially when it's something that can make me more successful and more profitable. So I definitely want to look into the 12 principles, but most specifically the one she mentioned on inconsistency. So I didn't really necessarily have a question about it, but she definitely,
Well, you have a
spurred
question
me
that you're
on.
gonna go to find out the answers.
Yeah,
So you do have questions.
true.
So why is it that we don't have, I mean, I could spend the next 4 hours with questions with this group. I mean, I have so many thoughts, I have so many questions, like, oh my,
So how about if you start with a few questions, and it's probably gonna spark some more questions.
good idea. I think the first question is, like, why aren't other people asking these questions?
From the fear.
So I'll ask the first question.
From the fear of looking unintelligent.
From the fear of looking unintelligent.
Ah, that's the magic. Like, I don't really care if I look unintelligent.
Right.
So I'm a 3-year-old. I mean, a little boy, he doesn't
Right.
worry about being unintelligent. It's like, yeah, good, okay. So the secret to maybe asking questions is don't worry about looking unintelligent. It's totally okay.
Because if you don't ask questions, do you find the answers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Somebody else has got the same question, they're just not asking.
And I'm pretty sure nobody in this room has this question. And so it's like, how do you come up with questions like nobody else comes up with? You gotta be more curious than other people. Like, we have 3 young men in here today, and so they're in their, 20s or so. And I'm like, like a question I have for them, I'm like, what's the biggest weakness that they have when they go ahead and hit the marketplace? Did anybody have that question? You're just afraid to ask the question, like, I had that question, but I'm afraid. Did anybody in the room have that question? No. Why not?
Could be there's a level of caring you have that you recognize.
Maybe a selfishness a little bit.
Sure.
I have 4 daughters.
Right?
3 are not married yet.
Right.
And I am very, very interested in helping my 3 daughters that are not married to go ahead and find very productive, high frequency, high level, selfless, individuals, men that have vision, that, that delayed gratification. I mean, I am looking, and there seems to be less of them now than there's ever been before, and so I'm like, so part of it's that. Part of it, I was a young male when I went ahead and got into 100% straight commission sales, and so I just thought, what are people thinking of me?
So what was the answers you came up with?
That I was dumb and irresponsible,
Oh. Why would that be?
because I'm a young male.
A young male in the marketplace, so lack of credibility or?
Right, I'm a young male. I'm
Right.
dumb and I'm irresponsible.
Right. So now that you and I are past our 20s,
A little bit.
just by a slight margin,
Little tiny.
what have you found has changed?
Well,
How do people treat you now? Do they treat you the same as when you were 20s? And
no, they don't.
they don't? Well, how do they treat you now?
They think I know what I'm talking about.
Interesting.
Whether you do or
So-
not, right?
so now-
Whether-
so now let me-
Yeah.
So let me
It's
ask
so
you a
cool.
question. Let me ask you a question, Mark. What if the young men in this room, right, were to borrow or learn from your credibility, where you could, I don't know, maybe give them credibility or promote them, or say, man, these guys are pretty straight up, and then maybe they, in turn, I don't know, could in fact, promote you to the people that they know. Because if they're 20s, maybe they know other people in business that might be your age or my age, which is only slightly more than their age currently, just by a little bit. So there could be more synergy, so it would open up business for you and for them, and they really wouldn't have to do that much work. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, totally. And I was thinking, like, what did I do when I was in my 20s? What did I do in my 20s to give me credibility when I was in my 20s? Because I couldn't wait
Right.
like 10 years or 20 years.
Right.
I had to create credibility instantaneously.
So what did you do?
Well, I was blessed to be married,
Okay,
bought a house, decided to start a family.
okay.
And so, I then looked like I was really successful. And my wife wasn't working outside the home.
So you think, I don't know, just thinking outside the box, if these men could get married, get a house and start having kids, their business could skyrocket.
Oh, totally. Without, absolutely, without question.
Interesting.
Totally.
Okay.
Now,
Are there any other ways? I mean, I'm just thinking like somebody.
There are other
who
ways.
Used to be 20. I mean, wait a second. Is
There
there
are.
other ways that I
I
can get
would
credibility?
recommend that they strive for that,
Okay.
to understand based on what their life vision is and how important it is to find an amazing wife,
Okay.
okay? And then strive to say, what is my legacy? I started when I was in my 20s, and I am really, really glad that I did. I think that, I am a really cool 51-year-old guy, without question.
You're not 51. Stop lying.
I know.
Seriously.
But I am
35,
really cool.
36.
Why? Because I hang around 20-year-olds and I know how they think, and I can connect and relate, and I can bring a tremendous amount of value to them, and they can bring me a tremendous amount of value too. So there's a mutual exchange, there's a mutual benefit. Mason could benefit tremendously. Because what will give, Mason even more credibility than a 51-year-old guy would be, a more mature woman.
Uh-huh.
A woman will give more credibility. So for a young male, so if a young male gets a woman to say good things about him, that carries even more credibility.
Right.
Because sometimes guys cut other guys slack that they shouldn't, but women, maybe not so much. And so Emily could go ahead and reach into worlds, with Mason's help, that she would have a hard time reaching into without his help. And he could reach into worlds with her help that he would have a really, really hard time, which kind of connects back into the overall profitable partnership concept, actually, pretty
Right.
nicely.